So today's adventure is a little bit different. I have a lot of things on my bucket list, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of those things already in life. But one of those things that I've never had the opportunity to do is a polar plunge. And I'm not talking about just jumping in cold water, because I've jumped in plenty of cold water. I'm talking about actually jumping in a frozen lake. Well, now that we're in Minnesota, that opportunity has presented itself because the lakes here freeze every year, and they freeze solid. So we are going to do a polar plunge today and see what it feels like to jump in a frozen Minnesota lake. But before we do that, I've got to show you what it took to get to this day, because getting here was a whole adventure in and of itself. All right.
Winter in Minnesota can come on fast. One day it's fall, and the next day it's winter. I remember vividly the day the lake behind us froze. It literally happened overnight. We watched in fascination as the ice got thicker and thicker each day, and slowly we ventured out further and further on the ice, making test holes to see just how thick it had gotten. By mid-January, the ice was over a foot thick, and snowmobiles and other small vehicles were driving on it. I'd previously drilled a hole through the ice and stuck a stick as tall as myself down to the bottom. I did this to mark the spot where I wanted to do my polar plunge. I knew the water here was only about 4 feet deep, and so it felt like a good safe place to make my attempt. Unfortunately, frequent snows and freezing winds kept blowing across the lake and burying my spot. It took many times unburying the same location and a constant vigil nearly every day to keep it clean. I used the tools I had at hand, a shovel and a small hatchet, to begin to make my crude opening. The going was very slow and arduous at times, and it dragged on over a week. It felt at first like we would never break through, especially since the lake was still freezing thicker and thicker every day. By the beginning of February, the ice was so thick that trucks were driving out on it, pulling their fancy ice fishing houses behind them. Despite the challenge, our hole kept getting deeper and deeper. We had to be close.
So we've been working on this hole for over a week now, but last night we made a breakthrough. Literally a breakthrough. Check this out. So it totally filled up. We broke through the ice in the bottom there, and the water just started rushing up. The problem now is there's still not a big enough hole to be able to swim in. So you can see we broke through down there, but there's still a whole bunch of ice shelf in the way, and so we're using a metal pole to kind of ram holes in it and break it off so there's a big enough hole to swim in. Status update. We've been using the metal pipe to try and break the ice, and the other day it slipped and actually cut my head. I don't know if you can see that. I've got a cut like on my head there. That happened yesterday. Actually, no, it wasn't yesterday. When was it? I don't remember. Anyhow, enough of those primitive methods of breaking the ice. we have upgraded and bought our very own powered auger.
Whoa.
All right, well, after literally weeks of work, we have finally completely opened the polar plunge hole. So this has just been a ton of work to get up to this point. Even once we used the auger to drill out the hole, we still had like an 800-pound chunk of ice in the middle that we had to either get out or push under the ice. We ended up pushing it under because that was way easier, but that still took a lot of work and a lot of time. But finally we got the hole completely open. All right, the moment has arrived for the polar plunge. Super excited. We got the hole cleared here. So the hardest part of this has actually been keeping this hole open, because we've been going at this for several weeks, and we opened up the water like a week ago. And so every day, every morning and every night, we have to come and break the ice. It usually forms about 1.5 inches overnight. So it's below freezing out here right now, and the water is freezing as we speak. So this will be cold, to say the least. All right, let's get set up here.
Okay.
Probably the worst part's gonna be just standing here waiting to get in. Okay.
Hey, Matt. Do you want?
Oh boy.
Woo!
Guys, I don't know if I want to do this.
Who do you want me to record jumping in?
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I'll
Oh.
wait.
It is so cold. I feel like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Oh man. Okay.
I can't wait.
Not sure why I had this on my bucket list. All right, guys, here we go. Oh. Okay, if I go unconscious or something, one of you's got to pull me out. Okay. 1, 2.
2, 3. Hurry, get out.
Let me see that camera. On to it looks like under the ice. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't feel my body.
Was it worth it?
Oh, my whole body is numb. Guys, it's
Okay.
like a feeling I've never felt. Oh. Oh. I don't know if I want to ever feel it again. I'm feeling better though, instantly from being outside the water. That is the coldest I have ever been. It actually feels pretty good now that I'm out of the water. Oh, but my goodness, that was cold. All right, Emma says she wants to do it too. All right, Emma, you gotta do it. You can do this. It's freezing, but oh my goodness. Woo. Okay, go for it.
I'm worried about freezing up.
You won't. You won't. If you do, I'll jump in and get you. All right. Go for it. Okay, go for it. What do you think? Are you glad you did it though?
Yeah. It's so
Woo! All right, Polar Plunge 2021. Now I gotta go warm up my toes because they're so cold. Don't want to have to amputate them. All right, let's get inside. That was very cold. But you know, it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I just couldn't breathe there. But now I actually feel just fine. Gonna go in and take a warm shower though. Whew. 'Cause I can't feel my toes.